What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel once again. As you can obviously tell, today's video doesn't have the camera from me because of the fact that I forgot it at Kevin's during the last podcast. So we won't have camera for this one, but welcome back to another TSGG Game Pass Gold. In today's video, we're going to be diving into Prey by Arkane Studios. It's actually one of the more fun ones that I've done in the last couple of weeks as we've gone through just to prepare them for you guys. I know we are not completely back on schedule yet, as this is posting a day late, and the Game Pass or the Indie Adventure will also post one day late. So I appreciate you all hanging in there with us as we get this settled in. Brennan and I did move into a new home recently. When we got back into the country, we were immediately moving into a new home, so that was a little bit crazy for us. But anyway, that's beside the point. We're going to dive into Prey, tell you why I think you should play it, why it's a very good video game, and why it's really worth it, and it just helps Game Pass kind of improve as it goes. You guys know how I feel about Game Pass. It's the best service out there, and it continues to improve and continues to be the best service out there. And I don't think, even with Stadia coming in the future, I don't think anything surpasses what we have here or what Xbox has with Game Pass. I just don't think it's really doable. I also expect Stadia to focus more on the kind of computer game side of things, and for that reason, I think Xbox has kind of solidified their position with this, and I wouldn't expect it to get anything. I wouldn't expect any competition directly between Stadia and Game Pass. But let's dive into it. Fun factor and emergence in Prey. So if you guys don't know, Prey is kind of a suspenseful horror game type thing. Basically, you play as Morgan Yu. You have become trapped on a spaceship, and there is an alien presence that is trying to kill you. So it definitely has that aspect, and at the same time, there are a lot of situations where you're walking through the world, dark, dank corridors, and you know that the aliens are there or watching or mimicking an item that just happens to be in your way. So it does definitely build that suspense factor, and it does play off of it very well. Later on, of course, we'll discuss the music because it is very, very good in this game. But as far as fun factor and emergence goes, this game kind of hits every category for us pretty well. It's a very successful game. We played it when it first launched, but now that it is on Game Pass, I do recommend if you haven't played it, or even if you have, definitely give it another look. They have added quite a bit of content as it went, but basically, it's a progression skill system where you get neuromods and then you buy the skills using the neuromods. It also is a little bit of a loot-based system where you pick up items, wrenches, guns, things of that nature. You pick them up in the world as you go, and you can do upgrades and things like that. There is like a giant kind of I don't even know what to call it. It's like an upgrade port. You just kind of put the neural mods in, and that's where you get the skill upgrades. And it's quite a large skill tree as well. So fun factor and emergence is just the scare factor plus the kind of progression system slammed together, done really well, and it's very enjoyable for that aspect. Moving on from there, though, we do have control and gameplay mechanics. Another one that they do very well in, and like I said, I think they do very well in all categories today. So definitely take a look at the game. But as far as control and gameplay mechanics go, they do extremely, extremely well with the suspense aspects. The mimic is probably one of the bigger jump scares in the game. It's kind of just an alien creature that mimics coffee cups, chairs, all kinds of things, and you'll see it in a room, and then suddenly it's in a room full of things, and you don't know which thing is the mimic. So it's oftentimes a jump scare, or it will come out of kind of the air vents or things like that, and it's definitely kind of got the alien feel of you being on a spaceship trapped with enemies all around you, and that is what the game does, and they've kind of built that really well. The mechanics are really smooth as it goes. The kind of very cool gun system where they have like foam that freezes things, and just a lot of variety there that lends itself to this type of game where you can play it in different ways as you go through. You can play it melee based, you can play it guns, you can play it skill based. There's a lot of different ways that you can go through and play this game. That it does lend itself to that, to replayability and things like that. But as far as controls, they're very smooth and fluid. It is first person, so not my exact preferred. I do like to be able to see my character, but that's just my personal preference. First person, it lends itself to a horror or suspense game very well because you really do find yourself feeling the way that this character in the game feels. So I think that was probably the best choice. It's just not my personal favorite. Really well done there. Graphics, as far as these go, that another area that they've done well. They really built what you would expect out of. I guess it's funny to say, but like the space station that you're on, it really has the aspects that you would expect from like a shopping mall to cafeterias, things like that that they've built in very well, offices, and simultaneously the monsters are kind of created really well, or the aliens, sorry, created very well visually, and it definitely lends itself to the scare factor of the game when in the stealth aspects and you're just kind of creeping around and you just see this monstrous black alien looking in your direction and you're trying to stealth around it because you know if you happen to run into it you're probably dead. That and then the different weapon systems and the way that they're all fluid and the foam kind of freezing you or the alien depending on who has the gun at the time. It's just very well done graphically. It's a pretty game. You can look down to the earth and see through the space and stuff like that. And there are actually a few aspects where the game makes you as you go through the story. So definitely very enjoyable with that. And I don't think there's anything that I would complain about graphically with the game, especially being a 2017 game. I think probably up to par still in 2019. I know there haven't been too many graphic changes, graphically upgrades, I guess, in those last couple of years, other than 4K becoming much more, I guess, accessible for people. But besides that, it's very well done, and I don't have any complaints. As I mentioned earlier, music and sound in this game, it really, really well done. It lends itself so perfectly to the suspense, and you know that something is going to happen based on the music playing. But the music that's going on all the time is also quite suspenseful and filled with kind of the string instruments and things like that that horror movies do really well. I think Prey did it really well going forward or going with the game as well. I just said well like 7 times that sentence. I apologize, but it's just I can't say any better than that. They did this exactly as I would do it if I was trying to create a suspense horror game. So I can't say anything bad about that. I hope that with Blair Witch by Xbox Studios, I hope they do something similar to this. I hope to see the suspense of the game come out in the music so that if I'm walking into a room, I'm not even playing the game. I feel that suspense. That's what I want to see out of it. So let's hope that they go with that. Really well done job by Arkane Studios there. But moving on to the final aspect, we have story and replayability. I mentioned this a little bit earlier as far as replayability because there are so many ways that you can play the game. And I think my brother actually has played it a few times through as he went because it does lend itself to that kind of playthrough. It's very Dishonored-esque in that manner where there are different ways that you can handle each situation that makes it fun to play through again and to do the different things that you didn't do last time. As far as story goes, it's relatively it's probably to me the weakest area of the game, but that's not so much a negative because the game is so strong in the other areas. I just think that the story is fairly straightforward, I guess, is the best way to put it. It's kind of what you'd expect from a space station thriller. Evil, mega rich people causing the issue, trying to cover up their mistake, I guess. So not a bad story by any means, enjoyable, suspenseful. It's just straightforward, I guess. There were no like twists or turns or things of that nature. It just kind of led you to where you would expect, I guess. And if this were a movie, you would kind of see it coming at the beginning. And I don't usually, it's nitpicky because it is still a good story. It's still an enjoyable game, of course. I just think it's the weakest area of the game. And yeah, but the replayability and stuff of that nature it really does lend to that. And it does make the story or the game itself much more fun. And the different aspects or the different things you do outside of the story also very enjoyable. So overall, a very, very good game and very strong contender on this Game Pass Gold series that we've done here. But I do hope you enjoy it. That's all I do have for you guys today. As always, if you enjoy, leave a like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And in the comments, if you do enjoy Prey or if you think the story's great and I'm just a buffoon, let me know. I appreciate that too. Have an awesome week, guys.